Sam Dugan asks, what is my favorite biblical story? I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, some of them I've analyzed more than others. I guess maybe that's wrong. Maybe the story that packs the most punch for unit of conceptual effort, per unit of conceptual effort, is the story of Cain and Abel. That is really quite a story. I mean, it's very, very short, and it's unbelievably punchy. So far, that's the one that's been most remarkably illuminating to me. Now, that's not... It's a tough question, because I could say the same thing about the story of Adam and Eve. I mean, when I understood, gaining some of the insights that I've had into these stories has really been a mind-altering experience. So, for example, when I understood why it is or at least I believe I understood, why it is that in the story of Adam and Eve that human beings accrued the knowledge of good and evil, that they were transformed into moral agents when the scales fell from their eyes and they realized they were naked. That was unbelievably powerful revelation for me. And the revelation was, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about it, that there's no difference between recognizing that you're naked and vulnerable and mortal and that you're going to die, so that you're a vulnerable creature, and being able to take advantage of that vulnerability as it's manifested in yourself and other people. So you cannot be evil without knowledge of your own vulnerability and the vulnerability of others. And you can be evil as soon as you know that, because as soon as you understand that vulnerability, you understand how to exploit it. So animals, for example, predatory animals, don't exploit the vulnerability of their prey. I mean, they kill them, and so in that sense, I suppose it's an exploitation. But they don't take conscious advantage of the prey, knowing what would hurt them as individuals the most. They can't torture, and they certainly can't torture intensely and for long periods of time like human beings can. That requires self-consciousness. And so it's the emergence of self-consciousness that gives people moral agency, because they develop the capacity for evil at that point. And developing the capacity for evil, they also develop the capacity for the opposite, which at minimum is the decision not to be, as Google would put it, not to be any more evil than necessary, let's say. So